So we are going to do a wee shoulder session. So you're going to need 500 grams. Kettle of beans, a tin of beans, water bottle, anything that's about 500 ml or 500 grams. So pause there, get a little couple of weights. You won't need the weights just yet, so you can put the weights down to the side and then we'll go up into standing. So just bring the hands down beside the hips, bring the chin down to the chest. So we'll stretch the neck and the shoulders just to start off. Bring the head up towards the ceiling. And then bring the head back to the center. Look over one shoulder and then change sides. Look over the other shoulder and then look straight ahead. Drop the ear down to the side and then bring the other ear down to the other side. And then come back up and change sides again. So I'm going to take my left ear to left shoulder. I'm going to bring my left hand up and over to my right ear. And then my right hand is going to be in behind the back. I'm going to pull down towards the side and we're going to hold that position. So you should get a nice lengthening from your ear down to the side of the shoulder. We're going to hold it there a couple of seconds. And then we're going to change sides. So we're going to go right ear, right shoulder, right hand to left ear, left hand slides in behind the back. We're going to pull down to your right side and hold that position. And then we're going to drop the arms down. We're going to squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears and then drop down. Squeeze the shoulders backwards and then drop down. Squeeze them in and forwards and then drop the head down. And then drop them back down to that start position. Bring the hands out to the side. We're going to take our thumbs and you're going to squeeze the thumbs back, stretching the arms out wide, holding it there. Bring the back of the hands together, reach through the body, tuck the chin to the chest. So back of the hands together, reach away from the body, and then chin to chest. Hold it there. And then drop the arms back down again. Bring one hand up forwards, up to shoulder height, and then bring it across the body, elbow to elbow, and then pull that bottom arm in towards you. Hold it there, and then drop the arm down. Change sides, bring the other hand up, across the body, elbow to elbow, and then pull it back in towards you. Hold that position, and then drop it down. Bring the hand to the back of the, just below the head, just between the shoulder blades, and then the other hand is going to come onto the elbow, and you're going to try and pull it in and behind. I tend to rest my hand on my head and then squeeze behind. Hold that position, and then drop the arm down, change sides, so hand behind the shoulders, other hand onto the elbow, pull in and behind, hold that position, and then drop the arm down. You're going to need a bit of wall. So you're going to place your hand on the wall and it's going to be facing behind you. So my fingers are facing behind. I'm going to stand up forwards so that the inside shoulder is pretty much touching the wall. And then my outside shoulder, we're going to pull it behind you. So you're opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest, holding that position. You could almost look over your shoulder as well. You don't need to look over the shoulder, but it's that motion. So you should feel a stretch coming down the front of your chest into the upper arm. We're going to hold it there, and then we're going to change sides. So place your hand on the wall, facing behind you. And then you're going to step up to the wall, bring the inside shoulder to the wall, and then the outside shoulder, you're going to pull it in and behind. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to come back to the center. So come back up onto the mats. We're going to bring the hands up and over the head. You're going to bring the hands together, and then you're going to bring the hands together behind the bum as well. So hands up and over the head, hands behind the bum as well. You can clap your hands, you can touch the hands, whatever feels able. You're doing a big arching movement out to the side, so we're not coming forwards, we're coming out to the side and over the head. We're going to go for 10 and 9 and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then drop the arms down. Bring the hands out to the side, palm of the hands facing upwards. Give yourself a hug, and then hands back out again. Back in and back out. It should be a little bit of a bouncy sort of movement, very technical term, but a little bit of a bouncing movement opens the chest up and gets the shoulders nicely loosened off. If you do experience pain with any of these movements, just lower the arms down so they're more around the hips as you do them instead. So we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1, and then just relax. So if you pick up your weights, grab the weights in the hands. So a couple of things just about shoulder positions. When we're doing these movements, we want to be lengthening from the ears down. So what we don't want is we don't want the shoulders eking up towards the ears. We want the shoulders down. When we're doing it as well, we don't want the shoulders pulling in forwards unless I tell you to do that. We want the shoulders down and slightly back. We don't want to over-exaggerate it, so we're not hard men, we're not Scottish men with the swagger. We want to get the shoulders down, slightly back, and then we do our movement. So we want a nice stable shoulder when we do that. So from here, hands down beside the hips, shoulders down and lengthened, and then bring the hands up and over the head. Bring the hands together and then bring them back down again. We're going to go for 10 reps, nice and slowly as you do that. So palm of the hands come together or face each other, and then the palm of the hands come down so they're beside the hips. So we're going to go for 10, and we're going to make sure that when we're doing it, we're not arching, we're not shrugging the shoulders up. You're keeping them down and lengthened. So 7, and 6. Try and keep the arms as straight as possible. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the arms back down. Bring the hands out to the side. Palm of the hands are going to face forward, so my thumbs are pretty much facing upwards. We're just going to start by doing little circles in that movement. So you're going to go little circles, keeping the shoulders down and back. Make sure you're not coming up, so shoulders down and back. We're going to go for 10 seconds. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the arms down, bring the hand up, and then changing. So you're going to do a little bicep curl, really, really, really easy. Just a nice way of just offloading the shoulders for a little movement while keeping a bit of movement. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then drop down. So this time, we're going to come to an L position, so an L shape. So my shoulders are out at shoulder height, making sure that I'm not twisting my shoulder up and forwards. So I've got my shoulder down and relaxed. My elbow is at shoulder height. I've got 90 degrees into my elbow. So we're going to go from there. My palm of the hands are facing forwards. Make sure you're not up here. Drop them down and back. And then we're going to bring the hands up, and when I do that, my thumbs are coming towards each other. So it's down. Don't let the elbows sink below shoulder height. So you're going to go from here and then up and down and up and down. So we're going to go for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. That's good. 3, 2, big stretch upwards. 1, and then just relax down. Bring the elbows tucked in. Palm of the hands are facing upwards. You're gripping the weight. And then we're just going to squeeze outwards. What we're not doing is we're not bringing the elbows away from the body. We're keeping the elbows nicely tucked in. So it's a rotating movement. And it's a very, very gentle rotating movement. But what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze out and then squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. So it's going to go arms out. And then just at that last little bit, you're going to try and pinch the shoulder blades and squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then just bring the hands back in. So you're going to go from belly and then out. From belly and then out. Keeping those elbows tucked in. Making sure every time you squeeze the shoulder blades back. So we're going to go for 10 and 9. And it's that little squeeze at the end that we're looking for. 7 and 6. 5 and 4. 3 and 2 and 1, and then relax down. So this time, hands are going to come out forwards. You're going to keep the shoulders down and back, hold them there, and we're going to do little circles out forwards. So we're going to go in opposite directions with each hand. So we're going to go for 10, 9, make sure you're not squeezing the shoulders up, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then we're going to take the arms out to the side and continue that movement. So arms are outside, making sure the shoulders now up and down, towards the ears, down and back. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then bend the elbows back to that L position that you were in. Squeeze up, down, squeeze up and down. So we're going to go for 10. Make sure that when you get up here, you're straightening the elbows. You're reaching right up towards the ceiling. So 10, 9, 8, 7. That's good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then relax there. We're going to go down onto the hands and knees. So we're going to go down onto the hands and knees. We're going to go into a bird dog position. So you only need one weight at a time for this. So we're going to go into a bird dog. So knees under shoulders, hands underneath, knees under shoulders, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to bring the weight in one hand. We're going to bring the hand forwards and just rest the weight just on the floor just initially. And then from there, we're going to lift so that it's up at ear height. The arm is nice and straight. You're getting a nice straight movement. And then you're going to drop it back down, lightly touch, and then bring it back up again. Try not to twist through the shoulders. So try not to twist through this, I can't talk, twist through the chest. You're going from here. So it's a very precise movement, and then you're going to lift up as high as you feel able. And we're going to go for 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6. That's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change sides. So back into the hands and knees, weight in the other hand, slide the hand forwards. The little finger's on the floor, or the bottom of the weight is on the floor. You're pushing through the arm, so remember not to collapse down on the arm that you're leaning on. You're keeping the shoulders nice and level, and then lifting up. And we're going to go for 10, and 9, that's good, and 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then come back to the center. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time you're going to be bringing the weight straight out to the side. So we're on our hands and knees, and then this time the weight is going to be coming straight out to the side. We're not bringing it down to the pocket. We're not bringing it up towards the ceiling. It's straight out to the side. Want to keep the shoulders as level as possible. So we're going to go for 10 and down. 9 and down, 8 and down, 7 and down, 6, make sure the shoulder doesn't shrug up towards the ears, 5, down, 4 and down, 3 and down, 2 and down, 1 and then down. Change sides. So same idea. Don't let the shoulder shrug up towards the ears. You're keeping the shoulder down, squeezing up and to the side. So squeezing up and to the side. We're going to go for 10, 9, and 8, and 7, And you can almost imagine squeezing just in the back of your armpit as you're doing that. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then come back down. So we're going to go down into side lying. Again, we'll only need one weight at this point. So you're going to go into your clam position, so your classic clam position. We need to make sure that the shoulder's in the right position as well. So what we don't want is we don't want to be leaning backwards. So we're not pointing our shoulder behind you. And we don't want to be collapsing in forwards. So try and get your head in a nice position. I would tend to put the head either on a pillow or arm outstretched pillow between, so your head is fairly neutral. From this, we're going to pick up our weight. The weight is going to be starting down at our hip. Check that the shoulder's in the right position. So again, we want to squeeze the shoulder down and back, so we're not lifting the shoulder up towards the ear. Your shoulder's down and back. You're going to lift your hand and just float the hand about 2 inches above the hip. So you're floating the hand about 2 inches off the hip. This is your start position. So from your start position, you're going to bring the weight forwards up until it's up to shoulder height. So my hand is now forwards of the body. I'm not dropping my shoulders down forwards. I'm keeping my shoulders stacked. I'm going to hold it there, and then I'm going to drop it and bring it back down and float it back up over the hip. And then we're going to bring it back up again. So we've got 500 grams. The hand's coming up forwards to shoulder height, and then it's going to come back to hip height. And we're going to go for 8 more. So back up, and then 7 more. 7, and back down. That's good. 6, and then back down. And 5. And we want to keep it in one plane of movement. So you can almost imagine that there's a table that you're sliding your hand along. We don't want the hand wobbling up and down. We want it as smooth as possible. So 3, and 2, and then 1 more. 1, and then back down again. Give the shoulder a good old shrug, give it a good old round, and then we're going to go into our bent elbow version. So we're going to take the weight from the belly button. Your elbow is going to stay tucked in towards the body, so we're not lifting the elbow off the body, we're keeping the elbow tucked in. So it's going to go from the belly button, and then it's going to go directly pointing up towards the ceiling. The big mistakes people will do is they'll bring the weight to the shoulder. We want to keep the weight about 90 degrees for that whole movement. The other thing people will do is they'll tend to straighten the arm. So we want to keep the elbow tucked in. It's a rotation movement at the shoulder. And when you get up to the top, you're almost squeezing into the back of the shoulder blade. Just at the back of the armpit, there's a little bit of muscle there. We want to get that, and we want to imagine squeezing that muscle to get that extra movement. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, that's good, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then drop it down. We're going to change sides, so rolling onto the other side. Oh, it's a whirlwind. So same setup, your baby clam position, hand down beside the hips, floating the hand, just making sure the shoulders are stacked and the shoulder's not dropping backwards or forwards. Get the shoulder depressed down, and then you're going to keep the hand about 2 inches above the hips just to start off, and then you're going to bring it forwards up to shoulder height, and then bring it back down again. Nice smooth movement. Try not to wobble it up and down, and we're going to go for 10, and 9, and 8. That's good. And 7. That's good. 6, and 5, and 4. Well done. 3, keep the shoulder down. 2, and 1, and then bring the hand down. Give the shoulder a good sort of circle a couple of times. Bend the elbow, bring the hand to the belly button, and then we're going to keep the elbow tucked in, bring the hand up to the ceiling. Keep it tucked in, hand up to the ceiling. So we're going to go for 10. Squeeze up each time. Make sure not to straighten the arm, the elbow staying bent. 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and then drop it down. So we're going to roll onto your belly. You'll need 2 weights for this time as well, so we'll need both weights. So down onto the belly. Just have the forehead just resting on a pillow or a towel. Hands going to be down beside the hips with the weights in the hands. So from that position, we're going to squeeze the shoulders back together. So you're squeezing the shoulders back and together. So you're squeezing the shoulders back and together. And then we're going to lift the hands just gently off the floor. So your hands are going to float about 2 inches off the ground. Head is down on the floor. Squeezing the shoulders back. Make sure not to squeeze the shoulders towards the ears. You're trying to imagine you're squeezing the shoulders down and back. We're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So we've already done 5 seconds, so we'll go for 5 more. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then drop the arms down. Let the shoulders just rest. So the shoulders will sort of collapse down towards the mat, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide the hands a little bit further to the side, so about 45 degrees, but we're going to have the palm of the hands face down this time. So we're going to have the palm of the hands face down. So now, rather than hands face up and the hands beside the hips, you're sliding the hands away from the body, and then you're going to go palm of the hands face down. So same idea, we're going to squeeze the shoulders down and back. So we're squeezing the shoulders down and back. And then we're going to lift the hands 2 inches off the floor. And we're going to hold that position. Make sure that you're squeezing the shoulder blades back and together. And we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the weights go down. Let the shoulders collapse to the floor. So then this time we're going to slide the hands so they're up to shoulder height. So the hands are up at shoulder height this time. Same idea. We're going to squeeze the shoulders back and down and then lift the hands at the same time. This is the one that you can tend to shrug the shoulders towards the ears, so make sure you're shrugging the shoulders down and back, and we're going to hold them out to the side at 10 seconds. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. A tin of beans has never felt so heavy. 1, and then down. Next level, your hands are going to come up into a Y position. So your hands are now above shoulder height. They're stretched outwards. And then we're going to do the same movement. Don't worry about shrugging the shoulders down and back. Just lift the hands off the ground. Palm of the hands are going to be face down. You're just going to lift them off. Keep the head down. And we're going to hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop them down. Now, hands are going to come up to an I position. So you're going to bring the hands directly along the mat, Palm of the hands are going to face each other. So palm of the hands are going to face each other and just try and lift, essentially. Just try and lift. And we're just going to lift and we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the arms down. So if you remember back, we did the L position where the arms were bent. So we're going to go back to that L position. So we've got our elbow at shoulder height. The arm is at 90 degrees. And then we're going to be lifting the elbows and the hands up off the ground. So you're going to squeeze them back and hold that position. So we're going to squeeze and hold. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. This is our last movement of the day. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the weights down to the floor. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Push up through the hands into a cobra position. So that is a little shoulder session with the weights, getting the shoulders nicely worked. Great session for working your stabilizing muscles of the shoulder, called your rotator cuff. Something as a physio we would do quite a lot. So come back down, come up onto the hands and knees, and then we're going to go into a long child's pose. So stretch the arms along the mat. Try and get them as straight as possible. Hold that position. Keep the hips down towards the ground. Hold it there. And then if you bring one hand to the side of the mat, other hand on top, shift the weight towards the opposite side, keep the head tucked under, hold it there. And then we're going to change sides, last stretch of the day. So both hands to the side, shift the weight to the other side, keep the chin tucked under, hold it there. And then bring the hands back to the center, and that is us done. So great wee session, love doing shoulders, 500 grams. You can make that harder with a kilogram if you want to. See you later.